Alright, fellas, good afternoon. This is Luke the Vacuum Saver tuning back in with ya for another video. Huge welcome. I am so excited to have you back on the channel here. I know it's been a hot minute since I've posted. I've been in college. So, welcome to episode number 41 of Vacuum Saved already. And this will be called the Epic Comeback Edition of Vacuum Saved. This is episode 41 already. That is Derry Volunteer Fire Department's station number. So, go Trojans if you're a Trojans fan of Derry area Trojans. That they're an amazing high school with some pretty amazing sports teams. So yeah, and it's right near my house, so I'm really lucky. And actually, I just realized that these vacuums are their colors, blue and gold. So what are the chances of that? So anyhow, this is episode number 41 of Vacuum Saved. Now, I am so excited to have you here on the channel. These videos are broken down into 4 categories. They are the introduction, which is what you're watching right now, a story time, which I'll bring each of the vacuums right about here and talk a little bit about it, and then I will go ahead and do a test run at the end of each of them, and then a final thoughts at the very end. So you guys are going to have a nice full time of entertainment with me this afternoon. So, huge warm welcome to you. I am so excited to have you back, and let's go ahead and get started with this video. So, let's go ahead and start on our left-hand side here. This is a brand that has never been welcomed into the shop before, and it is none other than Eureka. Welcome, Eureka. You are always welcome here in the garage. So this is a Eureka the Boss wide track 12 amp motor. Eureka the Boss wide track 12 amp motor. And boy, this thing is really nice and powerful now. It wasn't when I got it, and I'll explain why during story time. So that's that vacuum. Now let's go to something that we see almost every episode. This fella. Yep, we have yet another Hoover in the garage. So welcome to you, Hoover. You're going to stay with me because your company does not make your specific type anymore. So very warm welcome to the Hoover into my life. I'm going to take good care of you, and especially you. So this is the Hoover Wide Path Plus with a 12 amp motor built on a Tempo chassis, and I'll explain that later in story time. So look at how beautiful these vacuums are, folks. Let me know what you think in the comment sections down below. How are my videos coming along for you guys? Oh, and also real quick before I begin with story time today, which we are going to have a lot of fun with today, folks, I got some interesting stories for you. So what we're going to do is I'm going to ask and request a quick little friendly reminder to watch my videos. I can't remember what episodes they are. I'll leave them in the comment section down below. One was starring a Dyson, and one was starring a salmon-colored Hoover Elite 350. Those are the lowest viewed episodes. Yes, they're a little bit lengthy, but they had great story times, and they're machines that deserve some love and attention. So I'd greatly appreciate it if you guys could give them that attention that they so well deserve. And I believe I put the Hoover head and head with the Dyson. That was a really close challenge. Both of them did extremely well, which I'm very pleased to report. So what do you say we get the exciting times going with a Eureka the Boss wide track that has never been in our house before? Alright, folks, you know the drill. This is your boy, Luke the Vacuum Saver, tuning back into another video. Welcome to part 1 of story time of episode 41, the Epic Comeback Edition of Vacuum Saved. So, now, both of these have 12 amp motors, but I'm going to focus on this one first. So, this is a vacuum that Eureka made back in the early 2000s. I'm guessing, I believe that's when they made it, and they definitely made these in the late 1990s for sure. And if anybody has a vacuum like this, let me know what year it was. I think it is definitely a rather old vacuum. And boy, this thing doesn't show its age because I saved it all up now. It looks like it runs like it's brand new out of the box. And it kind of looks it too, folks. So here we have that. And boy, I picked this up at Wow Outlet in Greensburg. And boy, this has done me wonders ever since I've saved it the past couple days ago. And boy, has this thing showed its power to me. And this is extremely powerful. And man, you're going to see it on the carpet here. With the way this thing growls on the carpet, it's awesome now that it's all restored and stuff. And the reason is because it actually has the right belt on it. Now, let me explain. This did not have the right belt on it when I got it. So I was understandably furious, and I ended up getting a new belt for it, and now it runs beautifully. So now here's a way that you can tell that you have the wrong belt. Now, real quick before we get to that, Intelitech Studios had one of these that was blue and greenish colored. Man, to you, that was probably the most beautiful vacuum I've seen in a while. Great job to you. I hope that thing's running strong for you if you still have it. So, shout out to you, Intelitech. So, back to this machine. If you have a bad belt, you're going to know right away. And that is because if your brush roll spins really slow when you start it up, that means you have the wrong kind of belt, or you have the right belt and it's overstretched. Both are a major problem that people don't typically grasp the concept of. Those are a major hazard for these vacuums. And boy, people just keep running them. And by the way, folks, with the way that prices are these days, it's really important to have a good running vacuum. Now, fortunately, back in the early 2000s and stuff, when things were simple, just like when that was made, this was very simple to disassemble and reassemble. And anybody that has a Eureka like this will tell you that. It's just 3 screws, and there's one right there, and if I spin the vacuum cleaner around, one right there. And just take a look how beautiful this turned out for me here. Nice and all clean. So, here you have it, folks. This is my Eureka the Boss Y-Track. Now, this does have a really nice HEPA filter, as you guys can see right here. There you go. So, now this switch is really nice and simple. On and off. Nice and simple there. Now, you may be asking me, well, Luke, why are you giving this Eureka so much love and not the Hoover Tempo? You'll wait and see in a second, but I'm going to give both of the same kind of love. But anyhow, here's why I like this vacuum so much is because of how big its dirt container is. It's unbelievable how much you can clean on one tank with this. So it's really nice to have this here, and it's just shining its beautiful gold color for you here. So I'm really excited to get this running for you later, and boy, you're gonna see this thing on the carpet. And yeah, that is the Eureka the Boss Y-Track for you folks. And boy, the Hoover's got quite a sad story, but boy, is it made a comeback of its own. So I can't wait for you guys to see these. I tried to run this on the lowest setting for my carpet here the other day ago. It was sucking the carpet up with it, and then I had to put it to here. It was unbelievable. So that shows you that it's a right running vacuum. So that is the Eureka the Boss Y-Track for you. Alright, now let's go ahead and put him back. And we'll go ahead and bring out the Hoover Wide Path Plus with wind tunnel technology. How exciting, folks. Let's go ahead and give this a nice look. One thing that I forgot to mention, that does have a running headlight. Now, on to you. Welcome to part 2 of story time of episode 41 Vacuum Saved, the epic comeback edition of Vacuum Saved. This is a Hoover Wide Path Plus with wind tunnel technology bagless. Now, this may look unfamiliar for you, and that's because it is a much older wind tunnel than some of the newer ones. You see, and here's how it is. Because the newer ones are much bigger, and their switch is up here somewhere, on, off. Now, with this, its switch, focus, is right there, okay? And that's where it is on the Hoover Tempos, so that's how I know that this is built on a Tempo chassis. And boy, this thing shows its name very, very, very well, and I am extremely excited to have it in the garage here. Now, you may be wondering, well, Luke, where'd you get such a vacuum? And that is, I got this at New Bethlehem in a church sale that was going out of business. They just happened to have this, and I got real lucky. And you won't believe what was running my Hoover. This, an overstretched piece of crap, was running my Hoover. And one of those two belts over there was running my Eureka. I'll actually show you this, folks. It was ridiculous how overstretched people think these belts are. And they think it was acceptable to run a vacuum like that. It's not. So that was the Hoover, and that's the Eureka. It was unbelievable. And like I mentioned with the previous story time, this one's brush roll turned extremely slow, and it didn't sound very well when I got it. And now it does, because I actually took the time and cared for the machine. And now I'm going to have myself a nice machine for many, many years to come. Whenever I have my own house and everything like that, this will just keep running, because I took such good care of it now. Now, you may be wondering, Luke, well, you've mentioned that Hoover is your favorite vacuum before, and why is that? Well, I'm going to tell you, and it's all because of the wind tunnel technology that Hoover has created, and I'm going to show you how right here. So, how they do that right here. So, let's go ahead and tilt the vacuum back. Look at this beautiful blue color, folks. And you're just lucky that blue is my favorite color, actually. So I'm really happy to have this thing here. So, nice and gentle. There we go. So, look at how nice and clean this bottom is now. And as you guys can see, that is a nice stiff resistance brush roll. That means the vacuum is running properly. And boy, you're going to hear it later. Now, here is what wind tunnel technology is. Okay, folks, it is essentially a board inside of the normal housing plate right here. Okay, this is the original, and that's the wind tunnel technology right there. I'm trying to move it. There you go. So that's a nice, clear vision of the wind tunnel technology. And here's where all the dirt gets sucked in, right there. So here's how Hoover does it, is that when you suck up the dirt from here, this is just one ridiculously powerful board that picks up just about everything in its path. And another reason they're my favorite vacuum is they actually use a real 12-amp motor. These ones, just like the Eureka and stuff, and the Bissell Power Forces, proclaim they have a 12-amp motor. That's not the case. It's essentially a pathetic knockoff of like an 8 or 9 amp motor that proclaims to have a 12. But boy, when I say this one has a 12, I mean it. It's really nice sounding, and you're going to hear the difference between the two versus a fake 12 amp and a real 12 amp here. And boy, it's going to show on the carpet, and you're going to notice that the hose on the back squeezes itself in when it starts up. That means it's completely free of debris and it's ready to use. So, and if your vacuum's doing that, kudos to you. You're taking good care of it. Keep it up. And so, yeah, that is the wind tunnel technology on this thing. Now, at first, this was so dirty that I thought it was a twin chamber at first. So, give me 1 second. There we go, folks. So, there's the Hoover Wide Path Plus bagless. Take a look at how beautiful this thing turned out for me. for the video here, and it's going to run fantastic for you all in just a couple minutes, which I'm very excited to have you see this thing in action. So, and that is a powerful 12-amp motor. It says it right on there. So now take a look at how nice and clean this inside is of this vacuum. And this is where a lot of the problems occur, ladies and gentlemen, with the vacuums. I've noticed recently, and especially with this filter down here. Okay? And that is because that was packed to the max with dirt, and so was this. Vacuums are not functionable like that. I hope you guys understand that and try to take better care of your vacuums for future reference. Thank you in advance, because it helps vacuum savers like me not have to do so much work when we get these vacuums in. So we just like to give them a nice little clean and get them back on their way. So, but I'm one of those guys that really likes a dirty vacuum to show myself and how well a vacuum can really be. So I personally don't mind it, but I know other vacuum dealers and stuff that have to detail these vacuums. I'm sure they get pretty furious sometimes with how dirty their vacuums are that come in sometimes. But they're the professionals, and I'm honestly becoming one of the goats of Hoovers because I have so many. I've had so many in the shop now that I kind of know what I'm doing with these things. And the reason it's called a wide path is because this is a 15-inch cleaning path. It doesn't say it on here because it's extremely faded, but this is a 15-inch, and there's a 12-inch sitting over there somewhere, but it's buried in the nice pile of, say, vacuums that I have. So you're seeing this one up close today, and as you guys can see, it's just an absolute beauty, and I can't wait for both of these to run for you later on today. And boy, you're gonna really see it with how powerful this vacuum is. It's gonna bring it to you guys. It's unbelievable how nice and powerful this thing is now because of a little bit of love and a little bit of care. And like I said, what was running the Hoover before, it was absolutely nuts. That thing could hardly turn. I thought it had a broken belt for a while, and then I realized it was turning. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I take the brush roll off the other night ago, and I found this. I was blown away. And I also found that one over there with the Eureka here, and it was pretty unbelievable. So it's imperative to have the right kind of belt on your vacuum. So there we have it, folks, and it's time for a test run now of both of these machines. How about them apples? It's our favorite time of the day, a test run. So let's go ahead and get started with test time today. So we are going to start with the Eureka the Boss wide track. Okay, let's get this big monster unwound. And boy, when I say monster, you guys are going to find that out real quick. So here we go. Gotta make sure that that's nice and clear. Nothing is obstructing the path of the vacuum, so that's nice. There we go. So here comes the power. And now this vacuum is ready to go for you guys. So I hope you guys are excited as I am to run this thing for you. So let's just go ahead and hear this thing first, because this is beautiful. So here comes the Eureka the Boss wide track noise test in 3, 2, 1. How about them apples, folks? So let's readjust that to the nice proper setting and wait till you see this thing run. Are you folks ready? Well, I think I am too. So 3, 2, 1. Look at that, folks. Beautiful, nice coast down there, and look at those nice carpet lines. That shows you have a good vacuum there, folks. And I had to stop the Eureka before it got too happy because I got to give the Hoover a test run. So, let's go ahead and get this wound up, and I'll fire the Hoover up for you, fellas. Now, you guys, if you think you like the Eureka, wait till you see the Hoover. Well, I think I like the Eureka too, but this Hoover is going to really show this Eureka who's boss here. So let's see. And let me know in the comment sections down below, folks. Which of these do you think did better with the test run? So let's go ahead and get the Hoover's cord unwound, and we'll go ahead and get started. There we go. Unwound some nice length of cord here. So let's go ahead and walk over and plug this thing in, and we're going to get rumbling. Alright, plug that in. She's got power for you. Alright. So let's hear a brand new, newly refurbished Hoover Wind Tunnel Wide Path Plus in 3, 2, 1. Pretty nice there, huh, folks? What do you think of that for a nice refurbished sound? I think I like it. So let's see if the Hoover can prove itself here in 3, 2, and 1. So that was a nice solid minute there that thing ran, and boy, this carpet is nice and striped clean now. Let me know, folks. I can't tell which one did better. Let me know in the comment sections down below which of these did you think did better. I'd love to know in the comment sections. So go ahead and drop a like and a comment and let me know. So thank you for helping me in advance. So I'm going to wrap this up and give final thoughts. Alright, so let's go ahead and give some final thoughts. Bring the Eureka back over to its brother here. Now let's talk for a second. So, final thoughts on these two. As you guys saw, they did unbelievably well with their respective sections, and honestly, I think the Hoover may have did a little bit better. Let me know in the comment sections down below which you think did. And this has been Luke the Vacuum Saver tuning back in with you. I'll catch you guys next week because I'm off for a week for spring break. And there should be another episode coming towards you guys, so stay tuned. Thanks, guys.